Everybody's got a bracket, right? Well, we here at WB&G are no exception. Now, we work in sports for a living, so we're supposed to kind of have an idea with these things, right? Let's give it a shot. Let's see just how educated we might be. We're going to walk you through my bracket right now. Let's start in the Midwest with #1 overall seed, Kentucky. I don't think they're going to lose anytime soon. We'll walk on through here. American. Cincinnati, the American. I don't like the American Conference. I don't think they're all that good. I'll take Purdue. Buffalo. I know Travis Eldridge and I both really like the Bulls. It's a 5-12 matchup. Buffalo, we saw them in Binghamton. They're really good. We like Buffalo. I'll put them in the round of 32. I'll take Wichita State. The Shockers will get a third-round matchup with in-state rival Kansas in the next round. Let's just stick in this region. We're going to have Kentucky moving on. I think that's pretty much consensus. Maryland, Buffalo with a chance to go to the Sweet 16. I'm not really impressed by Maryland. Buffalo. I'm going to take the upstate New York team going into the Sweet 16. Kentucky, Buffalo. These two teams played each other earlier in the year. Buffalo hung with the Wildcats for a large portion of that game, but I don't see the Bulls pulling off a stunner here. Give me Kentucky moving on to the Elite Eight eventually. And in the regional final, Notre Dame is really good, but I'm going to take Kentucky. I'm not backing away from the Wildcats. They're going to the Final Four, taking out Notre Dame in the Elite Eight. All right, let's move down to the West Regional. Wisconsin is your top overall seed. I'll like them, taking on Coastal Carolina. Give me Oregon. Why? I don't really know. I like their colors. Oregon, taking out Oklahoma State. North Carolina, Harvard. This is my personal upset special. I love the Crimson taking out Roy Williams and the Carolina Blue. VCU, Ohio State. This is a tough one. Ohio State, frankly, could have been seeded much higher, maybe like a 4 or 5 seed. So I will take the Buckeyes, knocking off Shaka Smart and VCU. Give me Arizona, moving on as well. I don't really like Arkansas. I do like Harvard, so you probably know where I'm going. Harvard, advancing to the Sweet 16 out of the Ivy League. As good as the Crimson is, I don't think they get past the Badgers. The Badgers are very good, as are the Wildcats of Arizona. Now, this, believe it or not, is a rematch of last year's regional final between these very two teams. Wisconsin won last year by just a point. I will take Arizona and Sean Miller, head coach Sean Miller, go into the Final Four. This year, they win the rematch. Give me Providence and fellow Connecticut native, New Londoner Chris Dunn. Moving on, next round. I think the Friars move on to the Sweet 16. I'm not sure Oklahoma has what it takes to advance too far into this tournament. And give me Virginia as well. I really like the Cavs. My problem with Louisville is they're really not much of a shooting team. Rick Pitino's team relies on defense and athleticism, but you need to be able to shoot in this tournament. You need good guard play. Villanova has it. They advance to the Elite Eight. And that's where I have the Cavaliers going to the Final Four. I just think Virginia's too good. I think they're underseeded. Should have been a 1 seed. I like them to knock off Villanova in the regional final. And finally, in the South region, let's go with Duke. Stephen F. Austin pulled off the 12-5 upset a year ago. I think they do it again. I like them over Utah. Davidson, no Steph Curry this year in 2015, but I do like them to take out Iowa. Davidson moving on. In recent years, the NCAA tournament has not been kind to the Hoyas. I will take Stephen F. Austin moving on to the Sweet 16, taking out the Big East team. For me, this is probably the toughest matchup I've had to kind of figure out in this tournament. Gonzaga and Duke. Gonzaga is really good. Duke is really good. When it comes down to it, Gonzaga has never made a Final Four. Mike Krzyzewski and the Blue Devils have made countless Final Fours. Give me tournament pedigree when I can't make up my mind. I'll take Duke moving on to the Final Four. ACC matchup on the right side of that bracket, Virginia and Duke. I think the Cavaliers will get this done. I think they will move on to the championship game, where they will play either the Wildcats or the Wildcats. Give me Kentucky moving on with one last chance, one last game to complete a perfect season. And you know what? When it comes down to it, sorry, I like the chalk like everyone else. Give me Kentucky as the national champion in 2015. As luck would have it, what team last beat Kentucky? Well, that'd be my UConn Huskies last year. Now, unfortunately, I cannot pick UConn this year on the men's side, but how about a bonus pick? I like my UConn ladies to win their 10th national championship over on the ladies' side. But this is my bracket, Kentucky getting the job done, and we'll just finish this off presidential style. There's my picks for the 2015 NCAA tournament.